level of Daggorath. Daggorath was a word in Sindarin, the Elvish language J.R.R. Tolkien had created for The Lord of the Rings. The word Daggorath meant battle, but Tolkien had spelled the word with just one G, not two. Daggorath, with two G's, could refer only to one thing: an incredibly obscure computer game called Dungeons of Daggorath, released in 1982. The game had been made for just one platform, the TRS-80 color computer. Halliday had written in Anorak's Almanac that Dungeons of Daggorath was the game that made him decide he wanted to become a video game designer. And Dungeons of Daggorath was one of the games sitting in the shoebox next to the TRS-80 in the recreation of Halliday's childhood bedroom. So all I had to do was teleport to Middletown, go to Halliday's house, sit down at his TRS-80, play the game, reach the bottom level of the dungeon, and that was where I'd find the first gate. At least, that was my interpretation. Middletown was in Sector 7, a long way from Ludus. But I'd collected more than enough gold and treasure to pay for the teleportation fare to get there. By my avatar's previous standards, I was now filthy rich. I checked the time, 11:03 OST, Oasis server time, which also happened to be Eastern Standard Time. I had 8 hours before I had to be at school. That might be enough time. I could go for it, right now. Sprint like hell, back up through the dungeon to the surface, then hightail it back to the nearest transport terminal. From there, I could teleport directly to Middletown. If I left right now, I should be able to reach Halliday's TRS-80 in under an hour. I knew I should get some sleep first. I'd been logged into the Oasis for almost 15 solid hours. And tomorrow was Friday. I could teleport to Middletown right after school, and then I'd have the whole weekend to tackle the first gate. But who was I kidding? There was no way I'd be able to sleep tonight, or sit through school tomorrow. I had to go now. I began to sprint for the exit, but then stopped in the middle of the chamber. Through the open door, I saw a long shadow bouncing on the wall, accompanied by the echo of approaching footsteps. A few seconds later, the silhouette of an avatar appeared in the doorway. I was about to reach for my sword when I realized I was still holding the copper key in my hand. I shoved it into a pouch on my belt and fumbled my sword out of its scabbard. As I raised my blade, the avatar spoke. Chapter 9. Who the hell are you? The silhouette demanded. The voice sounded like it belonged to a woman. When I failed to answer, the stalker
Thank you. Time for another approach. This'll be fun. Target's a target.
That was more sci-fi than and there was a long, curved
Nothing personal.
She wore previous style racing overall,
This'll be fun.
and it was working. As she walked toward him,
You looking okay?
she hauled the dust out of my sword.
You looking okay? okay?
Instead, she slid her shoulders up onto the since sunglasses didn't actually
This'll be fun.
and looked me up and down, making a show of sizing me up. For a moment, I was too scarred to break my paralysis. I reminded myself that the person operating the avatar in front of me might not be a woman at all. This girl, whom I've been cyber crushing on for the past 20 years, might very well be an obese, hairy-knuckled guy named Chucky. Once I conjured up that story, I was able to focus on my situation.
You know what to do.
I thought it was highly improper that we both
Thanks.
too big of a deal. Cat got your tongue? Instead, the
Come on, then.
Especially.
Thank you.
I am Juan Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez. She's smooth. Chief of the Netherlands in Charleston, Spain. At your service. I've grown enough like that. Regardless.
Time for another approach.
She glanced over my shoulder.
Pathetic.
How did you do? Do it what? Jousting against Zerarak? She said, I wasn't.
Target's a target. Come on, man. Pathetic.
Hello? I'm waiting. Consider me. Back out from the labyrinth and up to the surface. And decided to try to clean this together. The surface was clearly marked as a safe zone on the Oasis map, so no player versus player combat was allowed. I had no way of knowing if the same was true of this tomb, because it was Artemis looked like a formidable body armor, blaster pistols, and that elvish sword she was carrying might be formidable.
Just another battle.
If even a half of the exploits she mentioned on her blog were true, her avatar was probably at least 50 or higher. If PvP combat was real, she'd kick my teeth level ass. So I outplayed the school. I decided.
Appreciate it.
Holiday program don't play better weapons than AI. It's insanely hard to do.
Thank you.
You can put that away. I'm not gonna fight you. My sword raised. Is this really so no,
Odin.
you're the first avatar I've ever run into. I suppose there's only one way to find out. Shoot the sword like that. Player versus player combat not permitted.
Hiya!
I agree. I wouldn't lose it.
No time to waste! Trample us!
Killed while holding one. Advantage.
No time to waste!
There you have it.
Trample us!
This is a no PvP after all. She whipped her sword around and flicked.
Hiya!
Replaced it in the scabbard.
Yeah!
I sheathed my own sword.
No time to waste! The storm is here! Hey!
How do you figure? She motioned to the
Until
empty
next
dais
time.
behind me. You must really be hurting for hit points right now after fighting a Sararak. So, if a Sararak beat you in that joust, then you fight it. Thing I want. Or else I'd propagate and create a new avatar right about now. I've got hit points galore, I think. That Lich was a total wuss. Oh, really? She said, suspiciously. I'm 52nd level, and he's nearly killed me every time I've had to fight him. I have to stock up on extra healing potions every time I come down here. She eyed me angrily, then said, I also recognize your sword and the armor you're wearing. You got them both right here in this dungeon, which means they're better than whatever your avatar had before. You look like a low-level Winterzoid to me, Juan Ramirez. And I think you're hiding something. Now that I knew she couldn't attack me, I considered telling her the truth. Why not just whip out the copper key and show it to her? But I thought better of it. The smart move now was to split and head straight for Middletown while I still had a head start. She still didn't have the key and might not get it for several more days. If I hadn't already had so many hours of joust practice under my belt, God knows how many attempts it would have taken me to beat a Sararak. Think what you want, She-Ra, I said, moving past her. Maybe I'll run into you off-world sometime. We can duke it out then. I gave her a small wave. See you around. Where do you think you're going? She said, following me. Home, I said, still walking. But what about the Lich and the copper key? She motioned to the empty dais. He'll respawn in a few minutes. When the Oasis server clock hits midnight, the whole tomb resets. If you wait right here, you'll get another shot at beating him without having to make your way through all those traps again first. That's why I've been coming here just before midnight every other day, so I can get in 2 attempts in a row, back to back. Clever. If I hadn't succeeded on my first try, I wonder how long it would have taken me to figure that out. I thought we could take turns playing against him, I said. I just played him, so it'll be your turn at midnight, okay? Then I'll come back after midnight tomorrow. We can alternate days until one of us beats him. Sound fair? I suppose, she said, studying me. But you should stick around anyway. Something different might happen if there are 2 avatars here at midnight. Anorak probably prepared for that contingency. Maybe 2 instances of the Lich will appear, one for each of us to play. Or maybe... I prefer to play in private, I said. Let's just take turns, okay? I was almost to the exit when she stepped in front of me, blocking my path. Come on, hold up a second, she said, her voice softening. Please? I could have kept walking right through her avatar, but I didn't. I was desperate to get to Middleton and locate the first hit, but I was also standing in front of the famous Artemis, someone I'd fantasized about meeting for years. And she was even cooler in person than I imagined. I was dying to spend more time with her. I wanted, as the 80s poet Howard Jones would say, to get to know her well. if I left now, I might never run into her again. Listen, she said, glancing at her boots. I apologize for calling you a low-level imposter. That was not cool. I insulted you. It's okay. You were right, actually. I'm only a temp. Regardless, you're a fellow gunslinger. And a clever one, too, or you wouldn't be standing here. So, I want you to know that I respect you and acknowledge your skills. And I apologize for the trash talk. Apologies. No worries. Cool. She looked relieved. Her avatar's facial expressions were extremely realistic, which usually meant they were synced to those of their operator instead of controlled by software. She must have been using an expensive rig. I was just a little freaked to find you here, she said. I mean, I knew someone would find this place eventually, just not this quickly. I've had this tomb all to myself for a while now. How long? I asked, not really expecting her to say. She hesitated, then began to grin. 3 weeks, she said, exasperated. I've been coming here for 3 freaking weeks, trying to beat that stupid lich at that asinine game, and his AI is ridiculous. I mean, you know, I'd never even played Joust before this, and now it's driving me out of my gourd. I swear, I was this close to beating his ass a few days ago, but then she raked her fingers through her hair in frustration. Ah! I can't sleep. I can't eat. My grades are going down the tube because I've been ditching to practice Joust. I was about to ask if she went to school here on Ludus, but she continued to talk, faster and faster, as if a floodgate had opened in her brain. The words just poured out of her. She was barely pausing to breathe. And I came here tonight thinking this would be the night I finally beat that bastard and get the copper key. But when I got here, I saw that someone had already uncovered the entrance. So I realized my worst fear had finally come true. Someone else had found the tomb. So I ran all the way down here, totally freaking out. I mean, I wasn't